So what I've done in this example is I've taken the same example, the Excel file, and I'm changing this, we have just normalized the same table into multiple tables. So what happens in a normalization is we kind of maintain the table information separately. Let's say we'll talk about customer. So customer has certain information, right? So customer has got email address, postal address, and name. So what we have done is we have a customer name, customer's table. So that means customer's table is holding information, name and address. Okay. And if you look and see, there is Emily Brown only once because we don't want to duplicate it. That's the reason we have normalized the table. Normalization is actually making the, tables into multiple, the long table that we saw earlier in a denormalization format. We are kind of trying to separate them into multiple tables. So there are multiple ways of normalization, like first normal form, second normal form. There are multiple. We're not going in depth of those normalization forms. Rather, we are trying to understand from the Power BI perspective, where normalization is kind of splitting the table into its own entities, like dimension tables and fact tables. Okay, we will understand that. So basically, it's kind of an holding information about the customer. And then see, we have identified another table called items. If you look at the main table, we have some items, right? Item name and item category. Okay. So what we have done here is we have brought the item name and item category into one single table. So hardly we have only 8 different items, but you can see, since same multiple customers or same customers have bought the similar products many times, you can see multiple records here. But rather it has got only 8 different item names. Okay. So it is kind of the smaller table, especially the customers table, items table, and we are trying to maintain information separately. Right? One for customers, one for items, right? Again, the dates of purchase, right? Dates. So we have some dates. We're tracking the dates in a separate table. Okay. And then we have finally a sales table, wherein we can see all this, I don't see any other information other than the IDs. We'll talk about what are these IDs. Okay. Forget about these first 4 columns. So what we can see here is the cost that if you can go back to the previous example, I mean, the same column that you see for the cost is here. But again, we have same number of records though, but we don't have that much information. Rather, we have keys. What are these keys? So for example, let's talk about customer ID. Customer ID has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you can see, again, the 1 is repeated twice, right? If you go back and understand about Emily Brown, okay. So Emily Brown has got certain ID, right? Let's say Emily Brown has got customer ID 5. If you go back to this and see, customer ID is 5 and customer ID 5. That means Emily Brown has bought twice. She has purchased this 150 rupees and again she has purchased 150. That means she has bought a particular product twice. So we are able to capture the Emily Brown information using this customer ID because we have a common ID here, customer ID. So we're going to use that customer ID and this customer ID, and we're going to make a join. We're going to have a lookup. It's like a lookup. So we're going to look up via ID and get the information. If we need Emily Brown address, we can get address. If we want our phone number, in case we have a phone number column, we can get a phone number. So it is acting like a lookup. Okay. So the similar way we have item ID, date ID, and whatever the transaction ID. So we are trying to have keys in the the main table, and the other tables are kind of separated. So what are we doing here is we are trying to come up with some normalization where we have this, information tables separated. That means information about customer, information about items, information about dates, right? So information about entity can be anything, right? So those are called dimension tables. Okay. So here the dimension tables are customers, items, dates. And the fact table is what? Sales. Fact table is nothing but which provides you the transactional information. The transaction is occurring here, right? The cost has happened here. It's not happened in any other table, right? You cannot see that information. The transaction has occurred in the fact table. So the cost information is here. So in future, in other examples also, if you wanted to identify the fact table, You need to look out for some transaction information like the quantity sold, the number, the quantity sold, right? The sales information, the revenue information, the profit, the profit margin, the loss, like sales, right? So all that numerical data that you see in a table, which is giving you a kind of metrics, it's kind of a KPI or metrics or transaction, right? It is giving you the granular level of information, like what is the transaction that happened in that. So granular data that we have. So don't take it literally that it's a number, because some people comes back and says, Santosh, item ID was a number. So I've seen item ID as a column, just number, and I would say it's also a fact table. No, this is not a fact table. This is helping you to kind of do the lookup properly to get the item information to the other table, right? So it's like a lookup. It's helping, this key is basically helping you to have a good lookup, but it's not actually giving you any transaction information or any KPI, right? It's not a metric though. Okay, it's not a uh, proper transaction there. So you need to identify the dimension tables, and then you need to identify the fact tables. Sometimes it will be important to identify these tables so that further down the line you'll be able to create a proper model. So we'll understand more about this. Okay, so this is all about the normalization. This is how we break down the tables. So ideally, this breakdown is not done by us. Okay, however, down the line I'll show a bit of example like how we do that. But ideally, this is not done by us in a proper relational database. The database is established such a way that they have their own dimension tables and the fact tables. So the Power BI work starts from where you need to pull all those tables and try to create a dimensional model, or proper model. Okay. So let us move on to the next topic. Uh, of course, normalization has got its own benefits, like the data accuracy. Normalization helps keep data accurate and consistent, so you don't have to mix up or errors. It saves space because it makes efficient use of storage by storing data just once, which can save on storage costs, right? And it is easy to maintain. Maintenance is simpler because changes are less likely to create, because whenever you wanted to change anything, you will directly go to that particular table, right? So let's say you are changing the address of a customer. What do? You go to the customers table, like Emily Brown's address you wanted to change. Directly go, you change just one record, right? That will be taken care in all the other 100 plus records if she has done 100 plus purchases, right? Because you only done the change in the, because every time that ID will be looking up with this ID in this table. So it is very easy to maintain and clear structure. It makes the database easy to understand with a clear and organized structure. Of course, there are various forms of normalization. We are not going in depth of the normalization, right? We are not going into all of them. Okay.